Hey guys, what's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? I hope the audio video is absolutely perfect. We will wait for some time. People are joining us from the app as well. Very good morning. Very good morning. Yes, Sandeep. Very good morning. Very good morning, guys. Very good morning. I hope audio video is absolutely perfect. Absolutely perfect. Yes, Nivi. Yes. Very good morning. Very good morning, friends. Very good morning. Quickly let me know in the chat box that audio video is absolutely perfect. Yes. Yes, people. Come on, everybody. Okay. Everybody. Yes. Come on. We'll just wait for a couple of minutes and then we will start today's lecture. Yes. Yes. We are starting with the first chapter. And before I start with the first chapter, there are things that need to be discussed. So, yes. Okay. Without any delay, people are joining us. Yes. Okay. Let's get started and let's get started with the very fantastic paper. But before we start with this paper, heartiest congratulations to all the students who have cleared their CA foundation, the first level, which is super important for your CA journey. But what next? The next is the biggest hurdle of your CA course, that is CA Inter. Now, friends, in CA Inter, there are so many subjects, and all these subjects are totally practical. That means all these subjects will be really have some applicability whenever you will go in practice. Now, friends, I will be taking up your law part, which comprises of 100 marks. So I will discuss it for the whole 100 marks paper in the lecture itself. But let's wait for a couple of minutes and then we will go in detail how the things will go on. Okay. Let me see. People are joining us from the app. Very good. Very good morning. Very good morning. Okay. Substantial number of people have joined us. So let's get started without any further delay. Okay. We have substantial number. Okay. Now today we will be starting with the paper number 2. Correct. So paper number 2 is that is law, and law comprises of two important part. Now the law is basically 100 marks. Already many people have given their examination in 100 mark system. Correct. So found in a foundation, in new syllabus, you have already given 100 marks paper, but friends, this time you have a surprise. Now what is that surprise, friends? You have a very good division. Out of this 100 marks, my dear friends, some of the marks is allocated to MCQ, that is 30 marks is for MCQs. So this is the brownie point that a person will get. Second important thing that guys need to understand is 70 marks, which will be for the subjective thing. Yes, the question answers, the case laws, they will be asking in such a pattern. So out of 100 marks, my dear friends, 30 marks is for MCQ and 70 marks is for the subjective. You might be knowing this. The whole law is divided into two important parts. So whenever we say law, law doesn't mean the civil or criminal law. Here, whenever I say law, it comprises of corporate law. Now, what is the meaning of corporate law and what all the things we have to cover? We will discuss that. The next part is other laws. Correct? That is other laws. So our 100 mark paper is divided into two important things. First is corporate law and next is other laws. Correct? Corporate law is 70 marks. It is divided into 70 marks. However, in other law, it is of 30 marks. The whole division. Let us understand first the division, how the paper will be asked, what all things that we need to cover. So first is your law is of 100 marks. Out of 100 marks, 30 marks is for MCQ and rest 70 marks will be for the subjective thing. Correct? Out of this, 70 marks will be for corporate law and 30 marks will be for other laws. Whenever I say you have to study Companies Act or corporate law, guys, you need to focus on some relevant concept. Now, what all things you guys need to understand? You all guys have to study Companies Act. Correct? You have to study Companies Act 2013. Not the whole Companies Act, but Companies Act which is important for inter level. However, in CA final, we will be discussing some part of law of related to companies in SPAM model. Okay, so first is the Companies Act 2013. In this, we will be covering roughly around 11 chapters. Correct? We will be roughly covering how many chapters? 11 chapters. That is from section 1 to 148 and some of the provision of foreign company. Now, foreign companies newly introduced a chapter in a new syllabus. So, why it was introduced and what is the logic behind that? We will discuss it in a while. Don't worry about that. So, the first 70 mark, the corporate law, is comprised of Companies Act 2013, whereby we will be covering 11 chapters. Now, friends, the next part is the LLP Act, correct? LLP Act, which came in the year 2008. We have to follow that as well. These two things are basic forming a part of corporate law. However, whenever I say other law, in other law, there are total 3 chapters. Correct? There are total 3 chapters that a person will have to study to clear the enter. Now, friends, now just see 3 chapter, 30 marks. What a division, friends. If you want to score rank, that you will get definitely. If you're planning to get rank and if you want that extra mileage, extra marks, brownie point, you will get this brownie point, my dear friends, if you are well versed with the language of other laws. Now, friends, in other laws, you will be studying a concept called as GCA, that is General Clauses Act. GCA, that is General Clauses Act, and it came in the year 1897, friends. There's a whole story why it came, who introduced, from where we took the inspiration, but it's a super duper app. But today, I will be starting with the first Companies Act. We'll take full Companies Act, we'll complete Companies Act, and then I will start with other laws. Okay, then there is a chapter called as IOS, Interpretation of Statute. Interpretation of Statute. Yes, and we have the favorite, one of my favorite chapter, that is FEMA Act. Yes, one of my favorite chapter, that is FEMA Act. So these are the basic division that a person will have to study to get super duper marks. But before I start with the corporate law and all those stuff, sir, I have a genuine question that as compared to foundation, RCA inter syllabus is tough or bit easy. Now, friends, you guys need to understand as compared to your CA foundation, CA inter level is bit easy. Yes, why? Because first you have MCQ. Don't worry about MCQ. I will be taking maximum MCQ in the class itself. So don't worry about MCQ. Our target is to get full marks in MCQ so that we get super duper exemption. The target is to exemption, not only to pass this exam, but get the maximum marks, my dear friends. So, is it easy? Answer is yes, yes, and yes. It is super duper easy because as compared to your foundation where you are not having any MCQ thing, but now you have MCQ, everybody. I hope everybody is there. Let's please be active in the chat box. I am constantly reading your messages. Okay, now let's get into this super duper important concept. I am starting today with corporate law. Now, friends, I want everyone to make handwritten notes. Yes, handwritten notes is kind of your Bible, which you will use it one day or prior to your exam. It will help you in the revision, because I will make sure that the handwritten thing is so super duper that once you read it, you will understand every provision point to point. So it's a kind request. Please make notes with me. Okay, now let's get started. Let's get started, friends. Yes, super excitement. Yes, let's get started, friends. We are starting with corporate law. Yes, we are starting with corporate law. Whenever I say corporate law, that means I want to say company law. Correct? I want to say the Companies Act. We will be starting today with Companies Act 2013. Whenever we start any act, let us decode the act, how the act came in force. Now, friends, it came in the year 2013. That means this 2013 will be called as year of enactment. Please repeat after me. Even you're learning from home, but you should not get vibe of that. Yes, 2013 is year of enactment. Year of enactment. What is this year of enactment? Year of enactment means in that year the law has been passed. Correct? Generally, act means rules, regulation. Generally, I have used this word generally. Act means rules, regulation. I'm using the word generally. Reason being, I will discuss in upcoming session that what is the basic meaning of act. So that means in 2013, we made some rules and regulation which will be applicable on the companies. I hope you understood the basic fundamental thing of this act. That means if you have started a company, my dear friends, in the year 2013, you have to make sure you have to follow this simple act, Companies Act 2013. Friends, I just now said simple act. Simple act will be for you only after completion of syllabus. If you are a company, my dear friends, in India, if you are a company, then you have to follow Companies Act 2013. My simple question, sir, in the year 2013, government realized that we need some rules and regulation related to company. No, we were having old laws related to companies. For example, we were having Companies Act 1956. We were having Companies Act 1913. You guys need to understand. After every economical and structural changes, we need to change our law relating to companies, and that's the reason in the year 2013 we actually repealed the old law and started this new law. I hope you understand. It doesn't mean that before 2013 there were no law relating to company. There was. I hope you understand this was the basic about the act. So the Companies Act 2013 is basically an act which will be applicable on companies. I hope you understand this super duper concept. Now, let us understand the basic fundamental. Now, whenever I say basic fundamental, I mean to say we need to understand how this act actually manage. What is the administrative body? If there is a fight between company versus company, then what will be the repercussion? Yes, friends. So, guys need to understand a very important thing, that whenever I said whenever you are studying Companies Act, whenever you're studying which act? Companies Act. So guys need to understand a very simple thing, that how the fundamental of this act work. Let me introduce that. So you are studying which act? Sir, we are studying the Companies Act. Correct? It came in the year 2013. Came in the year 2013. 2013 is called as year of enactment. Correct? Now this Companies Act 2013 If you want to understand the basics, understand the basics, how this basic thing work. Okay. Now, let us first understand when this act came into force. Let us understand first thing, when this act came in force. This act is exclusively applicable on companies. If you are a company, then you have to follow this rule. So who are company? Don't worry, we will discuss in detail definition what is company. Don't worry about that. Now friends, let us understand which date, what was the date. So there are multiple date that you guys need to understand, since many of the people might have joined us from the direct entry route, so they might be not knowing some days. So I am starting with very basics, so you guys need to understand there are various type of dates. Let me start with the dates. Okay, let me start with the dates. I hope even you are making the notes. Let me see, yes or no. Come on, in the chat box, let me see. Yes, I hope even you're making the notes. Yes, sir. 2013. Yes, it came in there 2013. Yes. 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 Perfect. Yes. So got the message? Okay. Guys, guys need to understand this act got assent. Or which word? Assent. Let me write. Assent of president. Assent of president. Now, friends, you guys need to understand in India, whenever we want to apply any law which has been created by the central government. So Companies Act 2013 is legislative bodies, is central government. Central government, they have to follow a process which has been considered or which has been mentioned in the constitution. In the constitution, the process is very simple. You have to pass the bill in the both the house of parliament and then have to take assent from the president. Now, whenever a normal person want to understand, assent means approval. Correct? Assent means approval. Approval of president was given, or you can say was received, when it was received, my dear friends, on 29th of August in the year 2013. 29th of August 2013. This was the date where we have received the assent. Assent. But friends, the date we receive the assent, it is not that date we have to follow the law. There can be a situation whereby we will discuss or we will decide a future date where the act will be applicable. So the law actually got applied, you can say the date of applicability was very different, because since this act was replacing an old act, so in transition and phases wise we introduced some section. Okay, so let me tell you what was the story of applicability. So the section 1 was applicable was applicable on which date? Let me write that. Applicable from 30th of August 2030. On the very next date, it was applicable. But which section I'm talking about? Only section number 1. Other part of the section was applied. Other part of the section was applied after a point of time. After a point of time. So guys need to understand, rest of the section, yes, rest of the sections came into force. Now what is the meaning of into force? That means applied into force on different dates. I hope you're there, friends. Correct? So first we understood the date of applicability. When this law was applied. So we got the approval. We got the approval on 29th of August 2019. But section was applicable on the next day. This law was not applied to the whole of India on the very next day. All the sections were not triggered. Time and tide, when central government came up with rules, they introduced with different provisions. Super easy? Super easy? Okay. The next thing what you guys need to understand is the applicability. The next thing what you need to understand is applicability, where the law is applied. Yes, where the law is applied. So, applicability. You guys need to understand the law is applied where. Yes, the law is applied where. That is super important. So, previously, the story was different when Article 370 was there. But now it is super clear. You don't need to think anything. Lawmaker says, Companies Act 2013. Everybody, Companies Act 2013 is applicable. Is applicable. Where it is applicable, my dear friends, it is applicable to whole of India. Okay, it is applicable to whole of India. Applicable to whole of India. And let me write this. Not required, but still I have to write. That is including Jammu and Kashmir, because of the special status what Jammu and Kashmir was enjoying. Yes, because of Article 370. I hope you understood whatever we have just now started. Friends, you guys need to understand this Companies Act. This Companies Act is having total, yes, this Companies Act have total 470 section. You cannot write the whole law in paragraphs. So what lawmaker basically while drafting, lawmaker divide the whole act into different sections. Okay. So the things that you guys need to note is we have how many number of sections? We have total 470 section. How many section total? 470. It's not a joke, friends. So we need to study this all 470 sections. No. Just now I said we will just do a part of Companies Act, not everything. Okay, we will do from section 1 to 148 and provision relating to foreign companies. That is the only thing we will cover. Correct? Now, friends, just see, we have just now started this act. We'll do 11 chapters. Then we'll do this chapter and this pending 3 chapters. Yes, friends, it's a marathon. It's a marathon and you have to fight back, friends. It's a marathon. I hope you are making this beautiful notes. Trust me, guys. Trust me. The time you will read this and once you go home, read your institute module or the book I will give you. You have to make sure that you read it. And once you read any book, be it institute's book or be it my book, you will be feeling absolutely confident because we will be covering everything in the classroom. Everything, 100% coverage, friend, 100%. But you have to stay strong. Yes, section number 470. There is total how many section? Total 470 section. Yes, total 470 section, which is basically divided into 29 chapters. 29 chapters. I will show you the Bare Act as well, don't worry, which has been divided into 29 chapters. Correct? Now, the feelings, the emotion which lawmaker did not describe in the section, they tend to create schedules. So, we have 7 schedules. Correct? This is additional thing a person will have to study. Perfect. So this is the overview that when it came, what is the applicability, and total how many number of section we have. We have total 470. Please repeat after me. How many section? 470. How many chapters? 29 chapters and 7 schedules. Super. Everybody, let me see the chat box. Yes. Whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Yes, yes, Geeta. Perfect. I hope everybody is getting what all concept we are covering. I hope it is super duper clear. Super duper clear. We will do the note making in the classroom itself. Yes, everything will be done in the classroom. Now, let us understand the history. Sir, why do we have to learn history? Friends, if you don't learn the history, you will not understand the reasoning why lawmaker has enacted this law. Friends, we were having Companies Act 1956. Do you agree with me or not? Yes, come on. I want your answer in the chat box. Come on. Yes, everybody. Yes, 56. Yes. Yes. We were having Companies Act 1956. Yes. Yes, Samir. Yes. Superb. So we were having Companies Act. We were having Companies Act 2013. But before that, we were having 1956. Okay? Okay. Now, if we were having a super duper Companies Act, that is Companies Act 1956, then what actually happened that we have to introduce a new act? Why we repealed that old law and introduced the new one? I hope you're getting the question. This is a super question. Why? Why this collaborative? I will tell you. In 1991, Government of India came up with economic reforms. I hope you know that. Government of India came up with economic reforms. Because of that economic reforms, there were a bit change in the corporate world. There were bit change in the corporate world, and that's the reason in the year 2013 they came up with this law. But friends, let me tell you, it was not that, oh, let's bring a new law tomorrow. They started discussing in the House of Parliament in the year 2002 and 2003. They started discussing way back, and it took almost 10 years to introduce this law. Perfect. So I don't know you know this or not, but whenever any act is introduced, so if government want to create any law, so the law will be created or the law will be applicable only when the parliament pass it. But friends, you guys need to understand, we cannot introduce any law. Okay, let's start with a new law. No. Always remember, Government of India, in case of state laws, state government, okay, in case of Government of India, they generally form different committees. Yes, they form different committees, and these committees then recommend what all things we have to do, or what is the basically need of an hour. If we need some law, then this committee will recommend to the parliament, and then parliament will come up with the law. Say example, in the year 2018 2019, there was a huge scams which were going on in the bank. First, Vijay Mallya. Second is Nirav Modi. Yes, and what they used to do, they used to take loan and they used to go out of the country. And that's the whole and sole reason Government of India introduced a law called as Fugitive Economic Offender. What is the law? Fugitive economic offender. Fugitive economic offender. Now, because of this law, my dear friend, which law? Fugitive economic offender. Now, these type of people, we can catch hold on them. Now, friends, guys need to understand. Something changed in the economy. Situation changed. Because of situation change, we need a law, and Government of India introduced a committee, and then committee recommended things to the parliament, and then parliament came up with the law. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Even in the foundation level, I have discussed the whole process of making law. But let us understand who introduced Companies Act. Yes, so who introduced Companies Act and which committee was formed. So Companies Act 2013 to introduce this, government of India has formed, okay, they have formed a committee under a chairmanship of J.J. Rani. So they have formed a committee and they have formed a super duper committee. This committee basically recommended the majority things of Companies Act. Okay, so they have formed a committee called as J.J. Rani. Everybody, J.J. Rani. Sir, why are you repeating this? I am repeating this because it can come in the MCQ. Yes, now friends, don't think that MCQ will be a one-liner question. You will get 4 options. Oh, you're good to go. Nah, 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 nah. MCQs, whatever you will get, there will be 2 types of MCQs. Number 1 will be a straight line question with 4 options, what you used to do in your childhood. Second will be a huge case law, maybe a 1-pager case law. In that case law, they will be asking 4 to 5 questions. In that one case law, they will ask you 4 to 5 questions at a stretch. At a stretch, my dear friends. So we will have to first concrete our concepts and then the MCQ. Don't worry about the MCQ. I'm creating a new book exclusively for September batch and Jan 26 batch. It will be a super duper book whereby I will be covering all the MCQs, but after covering few lectures and sessions. Okay. Now, the J.J. Irani committee was formed. Okay, the J.J. Irani committee recommended the things which we were required to incorporate. So they have formed a committee and the committee name was J.J. Irani committee. Easy? Now, always remember in our Indian history, our law is basically operated. So basically our law is created by the legislative. It has been forwarded to the people of executive. Executive are the people who execute the law, and ultimately if there is any dispute, fight, then it will be taken care by the judiciary. Okay, now in the similar fashion, our Companies Act have a basic body. Let me discuss 2 important body. First is the executive body. Okay, let us discuss the executive body of Companies Act. That means who all are there, which people are there to take care of the Companies Act, because there are a lot of things. If I want to form a company, where should I go? If I want to form a company, where should I go? This is the first question. To whom should I approach? If I want to wind up the company, where I want to go? Sir, I want to report my financial numbers. Where should I go? Yes, these are the basic questions. That's the reason if this Companies Act want to execute, we need some executive body. And friends, if there is a dispute between companies and companies, creditors and companies, members and companies. So if there is a fight between shareholder and shareholder and company, yes, then who will take care of the judiciary part? Okay, who will take care of the judiciary part? You guys need to understand who will take care about the judiciary part. Always remember, my dear friends, let me start with the judiciary first. If there is a dispute between between companies and companies. For example, if company wants to amalgamate, like Vodafone India wanted to amalgamate. If they wanted to amalgamate, they first have to take approval of judiciary. Now, friends, who is taking care of judiciary? The lowest hierarchy has been given to NCLT. Repeat after me. NCLT. Repeat after me. NCLT. Repeat after me. NCLT. Repeat after me. NCLT. Come on. NCLT. NCLT. Sir, what is the full form of NCLT? Come on. NCLT stands for National. Please repeat after me. National. Everybody. National Company. National Company Law Tribunal. Yes, Tribunal. NCLT, National Company Law Tribunal. Now, why it is called as tribunal and why not court? I will narrate your super duper background, historical background, but not now. Give me some time. Let us first create some base, and then I will discuss you some super duper story what I have learned in my practical life. Yes, still I am practicing, so you will be learning a lot of concepts what I am doing in practical life. But yes, if the company is listed, I will not take the name, but I will narrate you the full story. Yes, because you guys need to understand NDA, non-disclosure agreement. Okay. Now, first hierarchy is NCLT. NCLT, National Company Law Tribunal. National Company Law Tribunal. Guys, after this, after this, after this, you have, if you're not satisfied with the judgment of NCLT, if you're not satisfied with the judgment of NCLT, don't worry. You can go to NCLAT. Repeat after me. NCLAT. Everybody. NCLAT. NCLAT. Sir, what is the full form of NCLT or NCLAT? That is National. Everybody. National Company Law Appellate. So what? Appellate Tribunal. Appellate Tribunal. Appellate means where you can appeal. If you're not happy with the judgment of NCLT, you can go and approach to NCLAT. Yes, if you're not happy with the concept or the judgment, or you have understood that NCLT has not taken some of the facts and evidence, you can go to NCLAT. Mind you, my friends, if you are a practicing chartered accountant, if you are a practicing chartered accountant, you can represent your client in NCLT. Yes, friends, this is the superpower. If you're a chartered accountant and practicing chartered accountant, you can go and practice. So PCA, PCS, PCMA, and advocates are allowed to appear on behalf of their client on NCLT. So you have a superpower. Yes, you have a superpower. Many of my friends, they only do NCLT. They only do NCLT and charge roughly around 12 to 50,000, 12 to 50,000 per hearing. I'll repeat again, per hearing. This is huge, my dear friends. Okay, this has been done only if you are practicing. Okay, sir, I am not happy with this thing. Then under Companies Act 2013, judiciary has only two hierarchy, NCLT, NCLAT, but you can go to Supreme Court. Okay. Friends, just now I have mentioned the hierarchy. I have mentioned the hierarchy from lower to higher. Okay. I have mentioned the hierarchy from lower to higher. I hope you understood this. Lower to higher. I've mentioned here also the hierarchy is lower to higher. Super clear. So we have NCLT. Repeat after me. NCLT. NCLT. NCLT stands for National Company Law Tribunal. National Company Law Tribunal. National Company Law Tribunal. And then we have NCLAT. We have NCLAT. And we have ultimately Supreme Court. Ultimately, we have Supreme Court. Correct. Super duper. And this is the judiciary overview of Companies Act. We have not yet started the chapter. I am discussing the basics. It's been almost 40 minutes. I am discussing the basics. Do let me in the chat box that is it helpful or not. Come on, in the chat box. I'm feeling good that you're learning something new in the chat box. Yes, in the chat box. You have to be super active because this is the mode of communication we have. Come on, everybody, super active. This lecture should be interactive. Yes, yes. Samir is saying yes. Nivi is saying yes. Superb, superb. Sanika is saying yes. Oh, superb. Okay. Thank you so much. Okay, come on, everybody. These are the three hierarchy, that is NCLT, NCLAT, and Supreme Court. This is what the judiciary part is for you all guys. Okay. Let us understand the executive part. Executive part means if there's a problem or the act, the administration part, the management part is being taken care by the executive people. It's been taken care by the executive people. Now, guys, need to understand the executive part is taken care by MCA. MCA. MCA means Ministry of Corporate Affairs. Repeat after me. Ministry of Ministry of Corporate Affairs. 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 MCA. Friends, always remember the head of MCA will be a minister. The head of MCA will be a minister. Head of MCA will be a minister. Okay? The head. That minister will report to Prime Minister. Please imagine. MCA is basically an executive body of Companies Act. MCA, head of MCA is will be a minister. For example, your Bipu sir is basically a head of MCA. I will be reporting to Prime Minister Modi sir. Simple. This is how the hierarchy works. Generally, the head of FM becomes the head of MCA. If you're a finance minister, you generally take over the part of MCA. So it is your duty. It is your duty to let me know in the chat box who is the head of MCA. Okay, who is the head of MCA? Okay, guys need to understand. MCA cannot execute everything by its own. MCA cannot execute everything by its own. That's the reason government MCA has created a part called as regional director. They have started what? They have started a government officer. It's a basically government office called as regional director. RD. Regional director. RD. Regional director. RD. We have total 7 regional directors. How many? 7 regional directors. How many? 7 regional directors. Super easy. No. RD cannot execute everything by its own again. And that is the reason, we have ROCs. We have ROCs called as registrar of companies. We have registrar ROC. Yes, we have ROC. I'm using the initials as well because in upcoming lectures I will not say regional director, I will say only RD. I will not say Ministry of Corporate Affairs, I will only say MCA. I will not say National Company Law Tribunal, NCLT. I will only say NCLT. Okay, so ROC, we have total 25 ROC. Government has tried to give one MCA to every state. I have used the word tried. They have not yet successful because you guys need to understand, whenever you set up an ROC office, you have to incur a lot of cost. You need a lot of officers working in that department. So they have tried to set up 25 ROCs. But there is a special note. I just now said Government of India tried to reach every state, But there are two states who are super duper lucky. They are super duper lucky, friends. You know why? Because they have two ROCs. We have a state that is Maharashtra first, and second, we have Tamil Nadu. These are the two states we have in India who have two ROCs. Let me repeat. Generally, we have tried to give ROCs. We have generally tried to give ROCs almost to all the states. Now, wherever there is no economical activity, we have collaborated all these things to one place. But in India, there are how many states? Two states. Two states. That is Maharashtra and Tamil Nadu. Maharashtra, Tamil Nadu, Maharashtra and Tamil Nadu who have two ROCs. Super lucky. Twins. Yes, guys need to understand. In Maharashtra, first you have it in Mumbai. You have it in Mumbai and you have it in Pune. Yes, you have it in Pune. Let me see if we have people from Maharashtra in the chat box. Let me see. Okay, let me see. First, Pune, Maharashtra. Pune, Maharashtra. Let me see. Anybody is from? Oh, we have people from Pune. Sarika Patil says, I'm from Pune. Whoa, very good. We have people from Pune as well. Mumbai, Pune. Mumbai, Pune. Mumbai, Pune. Okay. And in Tamil Nadu, it is Chennai. Yes, Chennai. We have many students of Chennai already. And we have people from Coimbatore. And we have a ROC also in Coimbatore. Okay, friends, this is the two fundamental things that you guys need to understand. Super duper. Conceptually, you should understand everything. Conceptually, you should understand everything conceptually. I am the man of perfection. So if I don't see anything perfect, I tend to change it. So it should be straight line. Please use scale, friends. Don't do free drawings. Okay, so this is how the core things work for you. Okay, the core thing work for you. So executive, judiciary. This is how the Companies Act is been operated. It has been formed with the help of a committee called as J. Irani. Formed a committee called as J. Irani. Okay, let me write one more thing for you. Let me give you one more thing. In India, we have one more concept called as legislative. Yes, we have one more concept called as legislative. Now, whenever I say legislative, you guys need to understand that who created Companies Act? Who created Companies Act? So lawmaker says it is super easy. It has been created by Parliament. Whenever I say Parliament means I'm talking about central government. Whenever I say Parliament means I'm talking about central government. Easy, super. So this is how the basic fundamental of Companies Act actually really function. I hope you're there. Super. Super. Yes, people. Come on, everybody. Very quickly. Yes, people. Everybody. Okay, super. This is how the whole scenario works. This is how the whole concept. This is just an overview. In the last 1 hour, I have just discussed what you have to study, what all things is expected in Companies Act, how many schedule, where it is applicable, and all those stuffs. Yes, all those stuffs. Let's get started, friends, and let me start with the chapter. Actual and real, I'm starting with the chapter. Okay. Let's get started. Full power. Come on, everybody. Full power. Let's start with the very first concept now. I'm starting with the concept now. I hope you understood the overview. The overview is very important to understand the operations of the law. If you understand the operations, you tend to get hand holding. Now let's start with the first important meaning. And the question is, what is company? Correct? Sir, why we have to study the meaning of company? Friends, if you are a company, then only you will follow Companies Act. Simple. If you are company, only and only you will then follow Companies Act. I hope you understand this. If you are a company, then only you will follow Companies Act. So we need to first understand who is company. If you understand who is company, then only we will understand some important super concept. Is he sure? Now, what is company? This is the first core question that should be come to your mind, and for that we need to understand the definition. Definitely, I am discussing first the overview. Now, if you just compare my book, which I have given you, and second, if you compare with Institute's book, in Institute, what Institute did, Institute actually, of the first chapter, they started with all the definitions. So they have introduced definition. You know what I did? I distributed the definition thoroughly all over the chapters. So the first chapter is basically an important chapter, which is the base forming chapter, and it will help you. Mind you, in Institute's book, you can only find definition, but in my first chapter, I have covered some important topic. So that means we are not covering the definition, we are covering, but I have divided it. Say example, in the first chapter, they are defining dividend. But what if I define dividend when I teach dividend? So automatically you get the hack. Okay. So what is company? Guys need to understand this thing. Now lawmaker says what is company? Whenever anybody I ask this question, they say, sir, it's an artificial legal person. They tend to say it is distinct from its member. They tend to say it is created by law. They tend to say they can hold property. They tend to say the shares are freely transferable. They tend to say the liability is limited. They tend to say all these things. But friends, all these things are not correct. This is the feature of company, and I have not asked you the feature. I have asked you the meaning, meaning of company. Now, whenever you see the meaning of company, that is been defined under a section called as section 2. Generally, the definition is mentioned in section 2. I have used the word generally. Now, why generally? Because the concept, there are some sections where there are some act whereby the definition clause is somewhere in section 4, somewhere in section 3. But generally you will find what section 2 is the definition thing, be it income tax, be it anywhere. Okay, so section 2 clause 20, section 2 clause 20, section 2 clause 20, section 2 clause 20. What a wonderful section, what a wonderful section. It says, you know what it says? For example, this is my company XX. Okay, this company is into an educational business. Okay, this company is into educational business. Now friends, lawmaker says company lawmaker says company means company. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Company means company, everybody. Company means company, company means company. Repeat after me. I am telling you, Exemption. We will score exemption. You have to stay with me. Company means company. 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 Repeat after me. Come on, everybody. Everybody. Company means company. Company means company. Everybody. Company means company. Incorporated. Sir, what? Incorporated. Company means company. Let me see. Yes, superb. Company means company. Incorporated. Company means company. Incorporated. Sir, what is the meaning of incorporated? Friends, incorporated means started. Yes, incorporated means formed. Okay, incorporated. Company means company. Company means company. Incorporated under which act? It says under Companies Act 2013. Don't write CA Act in 2013 in exam. We are just making notes, so make sure you write it in the exam full. Company Act 2013. So company means company incorporated under Companies Act 2013. Company means company incorporated under Companies Act 2013. Superb. Company means company incorporated under Companies Act 2013. Company means company incorporated under Companies Act 2013. Correct? That means if an entity is formed under Companies Act 2013, then they are company. If a company is incorporated, is started under Companies Act 2013, then you are a company. Perfect. Meanwhile, Reliance, TCS, Bata, which are formed way back, way before Companies Act 2013, they were enjoying. Woohoo! You know why? Read the definition. It says company means a company incorporated under Companies Act 2013, but they have formed as per old company law. As per this definition, they are not company, and if they are not company, then Companies Act is not applicable to them. Lawmaker said, wait, I have not covered. I have not completed. Lawmaker then added a statement. Lawmaker added a statement. What a beautiful statement. What a beautiful statement. Company means company incorporated under Companies Act 2013, and then added or any previous any previous okay any previous law relating to company. Whoa! Because of this fantastic line, my dear friends, now everybody is coming under the ambit of Companies Act. I hope you understood. Because of this simple one line, what I've mentioned, or any previous law relating to company, or any previous law relating to company, or any previous law relating company, or any previous law relating to company. What a line! What a line! It says company means company incorporated under Companies Act 2013 or or any previous law relating to company. So if you have formed under Companies Act 1956, then this law is applicable to you. Yes, not only 56. It's mentioned any previous law. Any previous law. So you will be covering everywhere. Everybody is now coming under this ambit. Yes, covering under this ambit. Super easy. Please let me know. Simple. So what is the meaning of company? Company means company incorporated under Companies Act 2013. This is the basic definition, friend. This is the basic definition. Yes, basic definition. Basic definition. But friends, before this before I started with the definition, I said whenever I ask anyone what is company, they tend to say company is an artificial person created by law and all these things. Friends, these are the features. But before I start with any other concept, let me discuss some features of company. some features of company. Okay, features, some of the features which is super duper important, and I will discuss all this super duper important concept. Okay, now whenever I say feature, these features are super duper important. Let me start the features. First feature, feature is not meaning, friends. Okay, feature, first feature, it says company is an artificial legal person. Yes, company is an artificial legal person, and it has been created by the law. So whatever features are, I will just jot down. I will just jot down. You will see, oh, acha, oh, yeah, yes, I know this. Perfect. So, company is an artificial legal person. Easy. Company is an artificial legal person. Company is an artificial legal person. Company is an artificial legal person. Super easy. Company is an artificial legal person. Company is an artificial legal person. Okay. Created by law. Created by law. So it is. It money. It means. It means. It means company. It is created by law. Correct. So company is a artificial person. Company is a artificial person created by law. Company is an artificial person created by law. Okay. Now always remember, company always have perpetual succession. Company will always have. Company will always have perpetual succession. That means company is having perpetual succession. Perpetual succession. What is the meaning of perpetual succession? Now, friends, perpetual succession means long and stable life. Long and stable life. In the question, if they say there were five shareholders of the company, they were going for a meeting. Everybody died in that meeting because of atomic bomb blast, something like that. Everybody died. Is the company is completed? It is ended. The existence of company is zero. Answer is no. Company's succession is perpetual. Perpetual means long and stable life until and unless you follow the process of wind up. Your company will live forever. It says member may come and go, member may come and go, but company lives forever. Everybody, member may come and go, but members live for, or companies live forever. Member may come and go, but company lives forever. Perpetual succession means long and stable life. Long and stable life. Super easy. Okay. Next. Super important. Okay. Next, super important. It says company is artificial legal person created by law having perpetual succession. Is created by law having perpetual succession. Always remember, company is different and their member is different. Company is different, their member is different. That means distinct, distinct from distinct from its members. Distinct from its member. Distinct from its member. Distinct from its member. Okay. Distinct from its member means company is different, company is separate, member is separate once it is incorporated. Company is different, member is different once it is incorporated, once it is formed. Okay. Okay. Next, since they are distinct, company can hold, company can hold, company can dispose, Company can hold, company can dispose. Company can hold, company can dispose. What? Property. Property. That means company can own property on its own name. Property on its own name. Yes, can hold, can buy land on its own name. Super duper quality. Super duper quality. Not only that, can sue and be sued. Can sued and be sued. Can sue and be sued. Can sue and be sued. What is the meaning? Can sue and be sued. Simple and super and easy. If example, if you don't like my services, will you sue me, Bipu sir? No. Will you sue BB sir? No. You will sue BB virtuals. Yes, don't do that. But yes, if simple story, company once created, it is distant from its member, and because of that they can hold property, they can dispose property. Whenever I say this word dispose, dispose means sell. They can sell the property. Yes, hold, whenever I say this word hold, that means they can buy property. Whenever I say can sue, that means you can file a suit. Suit means you can file a legal case. Be sued, that someone can sue company. This is the superpower you have. Okay, friends, if you want to become a member, correct? So there are two important concepts in the company. Company is owned by shareholder. Company is owned by shareholder, but managed by board of directors. Company is owned by shareholder, managed by board of director. So let me write separation between ownership, ownership and management. Ownership is in the hands of shareholder. Always remember this. It is with people, shareholder, and with share management, it is with BOD. Easy, simple, super simple. Okay, sir. One of the important criteria why we have formed a company is because of feature called as limited liability. Why, sir? Because of limited liability. What is the meaning of limited liability? So, company is separate from its member. Company is distinct from its member. If a company takes loan of 10,000 crore, company take a loan of 10,000 crore. Don't worry, my dear friends. Don't worry, my dear friends. You have to pay only the unpaid amount. Say example, if the share price is 10 rupees and you have paid full 10 rupees, and if company take loan of 10,000 crore, then tomorrow bank will not ask any money from you because everything is being paid. Okay, if the share price is 10 rupees, you have paid 8 rupees. That means these type of shares are called as partly paid up shares. Shares called as partly paid up shares. 2 rupees is still pending. So if company takes the loan of 10,000 crore and if they are not able to meet their liabilities, then I just have to pay 2 rupees. I will discuss it in detail because I will be covering different type of companies, and in that I will be covering limited liability companies. Okay, don't worry about that. I'll give you all the examples so that you will understand. Just just now you just have to make sure that you know that the company has a feature called as limited liability. Limited liability. Yes. Now, always remember that whenever you form a company, the ownership is with shareholder and management is with the board of directors. Just now I have mentioned how to become owner, how to become member, how to become owner, how to become member. Very easy. Very simple. How to become owner, how to become do all this thing. You have to buy shares of the company. You have to buy a share of the company. How to buy all these things, I will be covering in third chapter. Super chapter. But guys, here you guys need to understand transferability of shares. So what? 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 Transferability of shares. That means you can transfer the shares. For example, if I own Reliance, I can sell it to you. I hope you understand. If I have MRF, I can sell it to you. If BB sir have shares of TCS, he can transfer it to me. I can happily say yes. Yes or no. Everybody, everybody. Come on, come on, come on. Yes, shares are transferable. Easy, simple, but you guys need to understand whatever we have covered just now, these are the features. Okay, these are not the meaning of the company. These are the features of the company. Okay, these are the basic features of the company. Okay, there is one of the important feature. Let me discuss that first. Not that important, then I will discuss the important part. There is one of the feature called as company is a voluntary association. Company is a voluntary association. Company is a voluntary association. Voluntary association means you have created this, you have a motive. For example, we create a company to earn profits. That is what the motive is. So this is how the story works. This is how the story is. These are the features. But I have a super duper important feature. It says, even you know this, that company is a legal person. Correct? Company is a legal person. If company is a legal person, and just now I've mentioned, company can buy, company can sell, company can hold, company can dispose, company can buy, company can dispose, company can hold, company can dispose. That means company can hold and company can dispose property on its own name. You get understanding? The company, if you are running a company, you can buy what? You can buy property on your own name. Your own name. If a company is the buyer of any property, who will sign on the behalf of the company? That's the question. If company is buyer, who will sign it? Come on. I hope you're getting the question. Who will sign it? That's the biggest question. Now, friends, signature of the company is replaced by a concept called as common seal. So what? Common seal. So company will always have common seal. Friends, these are the basic feature of any company. These are the basic feature of any company. But I will discuss some important point regards to company. Okay, regards to common seal. It's a very important thing, and let me discuss that in detail, friends. In detail, so it will take bit of a time, but let me show you, or let me draw a very good. Let me draw a company here. Presentation is everything, friends. Presentation is everything. Easy. This is my company, XX Limited. Correct? And you have all these features. All these features. Easy. All these features. Super easy. Now. Let me write a note. This note is regards to common seal. Yes, this note is regards to common seal, common seal, common seal, common seal, common seal. Now, always remember, just now I've said that company is a artificial legal person. Just now I said company is a artificial legal person. Now, if a company wants to buy a property, who will sign? I just now mentioned they have a common seal. Yes, they have common seal. They have common seal. They have a common seal. Correct? But let me write a simple statement. It says common seal is optional. Common seal is optional. Common seal is optional with effect from 25th May 2015. Simple. In your company, common seal is optional. But sir, I have a question. If common seal is optional, then how we will come to know that this document is issued by the company? Then how we will come to know that this document is issued by the company? This is the biggest question. Anybody can issue any letter and say, oh, I have received a letter from Reliance. Oh, I have received a letter from TCS. Oh, I have received a letter from Ola. Friends, you guys need to understand that whenever I say common seal is optional, that means it is your wish if you want to keep common seal in your company or not. If you have common seal, use it. If you don't have common seal, then who will issue letter? Then how we will authenticate that do we have, or this document is genuine or not? Now let me give you the basic gist about it. So if you have, if I talk about common seal, ask yourself, so what? If you have common seal, if you have common seal in your company, lawmaker says use common seal. Easy? If you have common seal, you will use common seal. If you have a common seal, you will use common seal. Easy. But friends, if you does not have a common seal, if you does not have a common seal, in that case, what to do? Lawmaker says if company does not have common seal, then the document will be signed. Okay, we need someone to authenticate, right? If I give you a certificate from BB Virtual and if it doesn't have a common seal or stamp on it, then how you will get to know that this certificate has been issued by BB Virtuals? Guys need to understand, if your company does not have common seal, then that document, that paper, that agreement will be signed by company secretary, will be signed by company secretary plus one director. If your company does not have company secretary, because company secretary comes into the company only after threshold compulsorily, then you need to sign it by two directors. Friends, this rule is applicable only when you don't have common seal. This is what the concept is. Easy. Whatever I have just now covered, it is nothing but the features of company. Not that important, but you should know all this stuff. Yes, not that important, but you should know all this stuff. Now I will start with section 3, but before I start with section 3, let's take 5 minutes break. A breather break so that you should feel good. A breather break. Okay? We'll take 5 minutes break and then we will start. Okay? 5 minutes, then we'll come back by 9:25. Yes, people, आ जाओ. Fast, 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 fast. We are back. We are back. Everybody, let me see. Okay, people, let's get started with the next important, very, very important, super duper, super duper, super duper important provision. And we are starting with the super section, section 3. Yes, we are starting with section number 3. Everybody, let's get started. We are learning that is formation. Formation of what? Formation of company. Formation of company. Formation of company. Who started? Who will start? That is what the concept is. And we have a beautiful section, that is section number 3. Correct? Section number 3 talks about formation of companies. Section number 3 talks about formation of companies. Section number 3 talks about formation of companies. You already discussed what is company, what are the features of company. Let us understand this super section. Now, guys, need to understand. Lawmaker says what? Lawmaker says a company may be formed. Lawmaker says a company may be formed. Now, this may will be not read as may, it will be read as shall. But I will be discussing it in upcoming lectures. Why it will be read as shall, why not may. Okay. Company may be formed. Company may be formed for any lawful purpose. For any lawful purpose. Sir, I want to sell clothes. Make the company. Sir, I want to make spectacles. Do it. It says may be formed. Friends, may is basically denoting the concept called as option. It says company may be formed for lawful purpose. That means, can we make company for illegal purpose? Answer is no. This may shall be read as, see, this may will be read as shall. This may will be read as shall. Simple. Now you say a company may be formed for lawful purpose. A company may be formed for lawful purpose. For example, my company XX Limited, we have formed that company. We have formed that company for what? I have formed that company for giving educational services. Yes, people? Okay. Now always remember, who can create? Who can create? Number one, number two, number three. There are three things that you guys need to understand. Company may be formed, but may be formed by whom? That is the question. May be formed by whom? That is the question. It says it can be formed by 7 or more persons. 7 or more persons. 7 or more persons. 7 or more persons. What is the meaning of 7 or more person? That means we need at least 7 people to start a company. So we need 7 or more person. In which case? Okay. In case of public company. Which case? In case of public company. So say example, if I want to form a public company for any lawful purpose, I need minimum 7 or more people. I need minimum 7 or more people. Okay, I hope you understand this. Whenever I say person, person doesn't mean individual. It can be a company as well. How? I will be discussing it in a while. Just give me some time. Just give me some time. So 7 or more people in case of public company, 7 or more people in case of public company by 2 or more. That means minimum 2. Minimum 2. 2 or more in case of private company. Which company? Private company. In case of which company? Private company. You need just 2 or more members. That means you need at least 2. In case of public company, you need at least 7. Minimum number of members. Okay? And the last one, by one person. When do we need one person? In case of OPC. Simple, easy, super duper it. So it says company may be formed for any lawful purpose. Company may be formed for any lawful person. Yes, any lawful purpose. It can be any lawful purpose. But in case of if you want to create any public company, 7 or more, private company, 2 or more, OPC, 1 person. Okay. How to form a company? That's a question. These people, they will subscribe. They will do what? They will subscribe. They will do what? They will subscribe. That means by subscribing to the memorandum of the company. Memorandum of the company. Whenever I say this word subscribing, subscribing means signing. Subscribing means signing. By subscribing to the MOA of the company. Who will sign? 7 or more person, 2 or more person, 1 person. I hope you understood this. Okay, people. Okay. Now, just whenever I say subscribing, whenever I say this word subscribing, subscribing means signing. Subscribing means giving the approval. Subscribing means they are giving the consent. But these are the broad categories. So if you sign on the memorandum, my dear friends, you ultimately become what? You become the member. Whenever you will form any company, you will have to form a company. Whereby you have to fulfill all the requirements. Fulfill all the requirements of registration, of companies under Companies Act 2013. Oh my god. So it says you can form a company for any lawful purpose. Yes. How many people do you need? So in case of public company, I need 7 or more. In case of private company, I need 2 or more. In case of OPC, I need 1. How you can do that? You can do it by subscribing to the memorandum of the company. Plus, you will fulfill all these conditions. From where you will act all this condition, you will see all this condition, you will fulfill all this requirement of registration under Companies Act. Once you comply with all these things, my dear friends, you ultimately form a company. This was the super duper very small section number 3. Easy. Section number 3. Super duper easy. But let us understand now what is this public company, and we also have to understand what is the meaning of private company. Okay, this was the simple important concept that we need to understand. Okay, 7 and 2, that is the all story we need to understand. Okay, let us understand the next concept, that is different types of company. Yes, different types of company. Please be 110% focused. Only then you will understand this concept. Section 3 says you can form a company, yes, for any lawful purpose. For that, you need at least 7 or more in case of public company, 2 or more in case of private company, and 1 in case of OPC. You will do it by subscribing to the memorandum, and you will fulfill all the provision of Companies Act. And with this, we are starting with the very first concept today: private company, public company. Because the first word just now we have discussed was the public company, was this word private company. So it is very important to discuss this word private and public. You there with me, friends? After private public, I will discuss the next concept. Ready? Okay, friends. Let's start with the first important provision, that is public company. Whenever I say public company does not mean government company. Public company does not mean government company. Public company means a company which is not private company. Whoa, whoa, sir, wapas, everybody, repeat, sir. Public company means is a company. Yes, friends, it's a company which is not a private company. Sir, you're kidding me, right? No. I'm not at all kidding, friends. This is the definition of public company, and it is mentioned under section 2 to 71. Yes, 2 clause 71. It says public company means company which is not private. Public company means company which is not private. Is the real definition? Yes, it is. Sir, that means if today you want to learn what is public company, friends, you guys need to understand what is private company. If you know what is private company, definitely, automatically, you will come to know what is public company. So instead of studying first public company, we'll study what is private company. So private company is mentioned under section 2 clause 68. Private company means company which is not public. No. This is not the game. This is not the scene. Let us understand the concept. Are you there, friends? Easy. Concept is easy. It says is a company. Which company? Private company is a company. Private company is a company. Private company is a company having 3 restrictions. Let me repeat it. How many? 3 restrictions. Private company is a company having 3 restrictions. How many? 3 restrictions. Private company is a company having 3 restrictions. Where? In its AOA. I will explain what is AOA, but in our upcoming lectures. But for now, you understand what is AOA. AOA is basically your internal rules and regulation. AOA is basically an internal rules and regulation what a person need to follow. If you are running a company, how you will hold the meeting mentioned in AOA. If you want to basically pass a resolution, you want to decide something, you want to call a meeting, how many days notice you will serve, you have to give it, or how you will give it, it is mentioned in the AOA. So AOA is basically internal rules and regulations. It is internal rules and regulations. It is internal rules and regulation. Okay. In that you have how many restrictions, friend? How many restrictions? You have total three restrictions. You have total three restriction. My goodness, not one, not two, but three. Now, what are these three restrictions? Let us focus on that. Number one. Number one. Yes, focus. Number one. You can have maximum members, that is 200. You can have maximum number of members. How many number of member? 200. 200. 200. You can have maximum number of members, that is 200. Okay, friends, I am marking star here because I will explain while calculating 200 which people need to be included or which people need to be excluded. Okay, so maximum number of members is 200. Okay, first restriction. Next restriction, your shares is not freely transferable. Your shares are not freely transferable. So there is a restriction on the transferability. Shares are not freely transferable. It has some restriction over it, not a prohibition. A restriction, that means you can do it after taking certain, you can say, approvals. Okay. Private company means company have how many restriction? Three restrictions. Three restriction where in its AOA. Okay, first is maximum number of members 200. Maximum number of members 200. Shares are not freely transferable. Shares are not freely transferable. C cannot issue prospectus. That means they cannot go to public, ask for funds. That is, cannot raise funds from public. You cannot ask public to subscribe into your securities. So this private company will get money from where? They can do private placements. Private placement means privately they will allot securities to selected number of people or group of persons. For example, if I want some investment, I will ask Samir Vaidehi to invest in my company. Okay, these are the students who are live right now. Okay, so three restriction. Number one, maximum number of members 200. Maximum number of members 200. Shares are not freely transferable. Shares are not freely transferable, and they cannot issue prospectus. That means they cannot raise funds from public. They cannot invite money from public. Easy. Simple. These are the three important criteria. This is the three important restriction that they have it. In such a case, if you don't have all these restrictions, you indirectly become which company? You indirectly become private company, public company. If you don't have this restriction, maximum number of members 200, maximum number of members 200, maximum number of members 200, maximum number of members 200. Shares are not freely transferable. Shares are not freely transferable. You cannot issue prospectus. That means you cannot go to public to raise funds. You cannot ask public to subscribe in your securities. If any of these conditions you are breaching, If any of the condition you are breaching, my dear friends, you ultimately become which company? You ultimately become public company, public company, public company. Easy, simple. That means it is and, not or. You have to follow all these things. But friends, let me complete the whole set of private company. Then I will move to public company. Let me write here. Other information. Let me write here. Other information. Other information means if you're a private company, that things need to be very much clear. Number one, minimum number of members. That means you need minimum number of members. How many members do you need? You need two. Already we have covered. See, two. See here, two. Already covered, right? So minimum two. Second, let me write the maximum number also. Maximum number of members, how much? So maximum number is 200. Can you see this? So here is the number 200. I will discuss this in detail because it's a star topic, exam topic. You can expect a question in the exam and you can get a brownie point. Very easy question. They have asked many a times in the exam. I will discuss the question as well if time permits. Okay. Second concept. Okay. The second concept is the super focus. Okay. So minimum number of members 2, maximum number of members 200. Minimum number of members 2, maximum number of members 200. To run a company, we need directors. Okay. So we need minimum 2 directors. Maximum it is 15, not mentioned in your book, but I know it. That's the reason I'm saying it. Okay. Third, minimum number of member 2, maximum it is 200. Minimum number of directors 2, maximum it is 15. But third important thing, that the name. Okay. The name of private company, the name of private company shall end. End with what? End with this word. Private. Private. Private limited. End with private limited. Easy, super duper easy. I will explain in detail about this 200. I will explain in detail about this 200 while calculating this 200, which all people will be included and which all people will be excluded. Easy, which all people will be included and which all people will be excluded. We will be covering that. This is what the concept is all about. Private company. I hope you understood what is private company. Private company means company which have how many restriction? Private company means company which have 3 restriction. Private company means company which have 3 restrictions. Number 1, maximum number of members 200. Number 2, shares are not freely transferable. Number 3, cannot issue prospectus. That means you cannot ask money from public. So then how they will raise funds? They will raise funds privately. Other information, minimum number of members you need to start a private company is 2, maximum 200. Directors you need minimum 2, maximum 15, and mentioned under law, by the way. And at the end of the private company, you will do what? You will just write word private limited. Private limited. Super duper. I have not yet completed private company, but let me complete now first public company. That means a public company means which is not private. That means company in whose AOA these restrictions are not there. Getting the point? These restrictions are not there. This is the whole game. That means, sir, That means I can have, it says maximum number 200. So I'm writing here maximum number of members is unlimited. You get it? Maximum number of members is unlimited. Unlimited. Okay, friends. Next, it says shares are not freely transferable in case of private. So I'm writing here shares are freely transferable. Easy. Shares are freely transferable. Whoa. Okay. Third, it says what? Third says cannot issue prospectus for private company. It says they cannot issue. They cannot issue. But in real and practical life, if you're a public company, you can issue. Can issue prospectus and invite public for subscription. And invite public for subscription. This is what the pointers I wanted to discuss. I have not written ABC because public company derives its definition from private company. That's the reason we have to discuss in detail what is private company. So private company is a company have 3 restriction in its AOA. That means their internal rules and regulation have some restriction. Number 1, they can have a maximum number of members 200. Shares are not freely transferable and they cannot issue prospectus. They cannot invite money from public. They cannot ask people to subscribe. Easy? Okay. Other information. Minimum number of members 2. Maximum 200. Minimum number of director 2. And at the end of the name, we need the word called as private limited. Let me write it here. Other information. Are there, friends? Other information. Simple. What is the other information you guys need to understand? Number 1. Minimum number of members in private company is 2. But here, minimum number of members is 7. Already we have covered. See here. 7. Okay, G. Second, let me write the maximum as well. So maximum members, how much? I'm writing UL. UL means unlimited. Correct. Second important thing. Minimum directors. Directors are nothing but the managers of the company. Directors. In case of private, it is 2. Here it is 3. And I'm writing name of public company shall end with what, sir? With the word. Whoa! Just now we have covered the basics of private and public company. Private and public company. Private and public company. Private and public company. But I have to give you some information. And what is the information? Let me write a note. This note is for which company? This note is for private company. This note is for which company? This note is for private company. And also there are some note for public company. Okay, there are 2 notes. First, I wanted to cover this thing. Which thing? While calculating 200, who will be there and who will not be there. This is the first thing what I wanted to cover. And second is related to public company. First, let me cover the small topic. First, let me cover the small topic. Let me discuss more about the public company. Now, it says subsidiary. Okay. After completing this topic, I will discuss holding subsidiary and small company, all these things. So, subsidiary company of public company. What is subsidiary company? For now, you just understand subsidiary company means baby company. Okay? Baby company. Subsidiary company of a public company will be deemed. What is the meaning of deemed? Deemed means assumed. Deemed means assumed. So subsidiary company of public company will be deemed. Deemed to what? So it will be deemed to be public company. Even if it continues to be private in its AOA. If you are a parent company and parent company is a public company and we have a subsidiary company which is a we have a subsidiary company we have a subsidiary company which is a having a holding of public. So in short, let me draw here, you don't draw it. This is a public company and it has a subsidiary, baby company, bachchu company, private company. So this is public. Lawmaker says this is deemed public. Deemed public means it has been considered as public. Considered as public. Even if on its article it is a private, but we are considering as deemed public. It is basically for audit purpose. Okay? It's basically for audit purpose. Easy? I think this note was super duper easy. But what is not easy? What is not easy is the calculation of this 200 members. This one. Super topic, super topic. This is super topic. First exam topic. Now, friends, whenever I teach you any concept, always you guys need to understand. I not only discuss the topic, but always discuss the related concepts as well. Yes, always discuss the related concept which is applicable. Okay, let me discuss the example. That is, we are discussing this concept. We will discuss this concept. Okay, I'm writing it in a separate way. This is that calculation of 200 members. For what? Calculation of 200 members. I have joined this. Now, how you will calculate this 200 member? This is the whole story. While calculating 200 members, there are certain conditions. Number one is joint owners. What, sir? Joint owners. Joint owners are counted as single members. Okay? Joint owners shall be considered as one. Joint owners shall be considered as one. Joint owners shall be considered as one. Understand what is joint owners. Joint owner means when there are two owners of one share. Two is basically the I'm just giving an example. If it's a one share and you have two owners, one share, two owners called as joint owners. Many a time your parents might be having joint bank account number. In the same way, you have a concept called as joint shareholder, joint owner, whereby both the people will be owning one share. Okay, but no, but who will get all the benefits? The benefit will be given to the shareholder whose name appears first on the certificate. Which certificate? Share certificate. So joint holder or joint owner means where both of us is basically owner of a single share. Okay, simple. Okay, so we will be considering it as one. So let me write it here. That is joint holder is equal to one. Joint holder you will be is basically is equal to one. Second, very important, very crucial, very important, very crucial. It says employee who is member. That means we have allotted shares to member, to shares to employee. If we have allotted shares to employee, that means that person is employee, that person is member as well. If this is the case, then it shall be excluded. It shall be excluded. Joint owner, joint holder shall be considered as one. If employee who is a member, that means we have given shares to the employee, he becomes employee plus member, we will not count him. We'll exclude him. Why? I will tell you. There's a story for that. Okay. See, you will not count your ex employee. You will not count your ex employee. Okay. You will not count your ex employee. You will not count your ex employee. You will not count your ex employee. Easy? You will not count your ex employee. It says you will not count your ex employee who is member. Yes, who is member after cessation. Cessation means stop. Cessation to be cessation of employment. Cessation of employment. Yes, but continues to become or continues to be member shall not be considered while calculating the limit of 200. The limit of 200. Easy? Let me discuss. Simple story. Very simple, very easy, very simple, very easy. It says, say example, let me take example from one of our student here. Okay. Say example, Sanika. Okay. So Sanika is working with me in my company and I have given some shares to Sanika. She's an employee now. I have given some shares. She has become the member of the company. We will not count her in the list of member. We will not count her while I am calculating 200. Second point, B point. Let's take an example. Sanika is working with me. I have given her some shares. I will not count. If she leave the job, still I will not consider her while calculating the number of member 200. Sir, why this B and C point is there? Let me give you an example why we have excluded here. Why I have excluded this thing. Let me discuss that. Please be with me. Say example, I formed a company by infusing a capital of 100 crore. I formed a company infusing a capital of 100 crore. Correct? I have infused 100 crore and I own 99.9999% share of the company. Rest 0.0000000% share is been owned by my wife. Sir, 100 crore. It's a huge capital. Who gave you, sir? It is been given by my father-in-law only. Okay, father-in-law. So we have two members. It's a private company. Am I complying all the rules and regulation of private company? Answer is yes. I am complying all the rules and regulation of private company 110%. I am complying it. Easy. Two members and we have infused 100. All of my students have joined in this lecture. Consider yourself you're working for me as an employee. Some of them people are from Pune, example. Some of the people are from Chennai, Coimbatore. So many people were there from South. So you guys are working for me as an employee. You're working for me as an employee. You're working for me as an employee. Working for me as an employee. Correct? You're working with me as an employee. You guys need to understand. I am paying you a salary of 15,000. I'm paying you a salary of 15,000. Are you happy? Are you happy, friends? Please let me know in the comment box. Are you happy? Are you happy? You should be happy. You're not getting anything. I'm giving you 15,000. You should be happy whatever you're getting. So I'm giving you 15,000 and you know my company is XX whose basic job is to give educational services. Educational services. Day and day night, the company was earning zero revenue, but you took it to 1,000 crore revenue. You guys, you did it. So I was very happy. A company making zero revenue, now making revenue of 1,000 crore. Revenue, sales. So you know what I did? I called a meeting of my employees, whereby I have announced, I have announced 50% hike. Happy? Now happy? 50%. Previously, you were earning 15,000. Now plus 7,500 is your salary. Not happy. I know the hike is not that huge. But friends, I have made a further announcement. There will be increment of 50% of your salary plus everybody will get ESOP worth rupees 1 lakh. Worth rupees 1 lakh. That means now your salary is not 15,000 or 15,000 plus 7,500. Your salary will be 1 lakh plus your fixed cash salary. 1 lakh you will get in shares and rest of the money you will be getting in cash. You will be motivated. You are not only the worker or the manager of the company, but you are the owner of the company. You can work more motivatedly. I hope getting the point. You will be working more motivatedly. You will be having more number of counts. Yes or no? If I am giving shares to my employee, that means I am giving some advantage to my employee, and this advantage play a very important role when this private company will grow more, and once they grow more, we'll go to public, we come up with an IPO. Simple story. DMart, Avenue Supermart. Have you heard about this? DMart is into a business of basically they are a grocery shop. Yes, there was an employee who took ESOPs and made 350 crore. 350 crore once that company came up with an IPO. 350 crore as an employee, it's a huge goddamn money. So ESOPs are useful. Yes, it is basically acting as a motivation. It is acting as a motivation. You guys need to understand it is acting as a motivation. It is totally a motivated thing. But friends, always and always you guys need to understand it is the concept of motivation. But if Why we are forming a private company? We are forming a private company because I don't want to follow all the rules and regulation of public company, which is good number of more sections. So that's the reason I'm following private company. By giving ESOPs, by giving ESOPs, if I would have counted in my number of member, so on the very next day, I would have to convert my company from private to public, because right now we are almost 350 plus students. So I'm giving shares to everybody. If I'm giving shares to everybody, you guys need to imagine that if I'm giving shares to everybody, everybody is getting the shares. Then 350, example 350 plus 2, me and my wife, 352 shareholder. And if this 352, on the very next day, I have to convert my company from private to public. Friends, people will feel reluctant to give ESOPs if this relaxation was not given. That's the reason employees are not considered while calculating 200. Ex-employees who was allotted shares during his or her employment, now that person is not working with us, still hold the shares, still the member, we will not count under the number of 200. Are you there with me? Easy. Yes or no? Sure. 100%. Okay. Now let me give you a calculation how things have been calculated. So let me give an example. Example will always help you to crack the questions in the exam. So example. In the exam, they will ask you, we have a private company. We want to convert it into public. So we were having a public company. We want to convert it into private. Yes, vice versa. So example, we are having the company, and this is a example. It's a public company. Let's take an example. We have members, 240 members. Easy, 240 members. It's a public company. We can have it more than 200. Yes, you can have it. Next. So example, out of this 240, employee are roughly around 15. Okay. Ex-employee, ex-employee are 10. And joint holder, joint owner is basically 10. Now they're asking you to convert this public company into private. That means they're asking us, do we have to reduce number of members? We have to calculate. You have to calculate. Please be ready. Yes, we need to calculate. If you even in the law exam, please sit with calculator, friends, because there are some numerical questions as well. So we have how many number of members? Let me calculate. Calculation. We have members. Let me write others. Let me add one more thing. Others 2. Others means they have not mentioned. We will add. See, while we are calculating 200. We are calculating 200. We will not consider this. Not consider this. This 10 will be considered as 5, and this 2 will be considered as 2 only. Okay. Now we have 240 members. Where will we deduct 15 employee? We'll deduct 10. Let me not take others right now, because others will make the concept complex. I will take one question from the book, so you will get to understand. Let us make it very simple. So 10, and the joint holder will consider minus 5. So if you just calculate this. 240 minus 15 minus 10, yes, and minus 5. If you do it, it will be around 210. Just deduct 30 members. That means if this company want to convert itself into private, that company will have to remove 10 members. How they will remove? It's a different story altogether. Different story altogether. We will have to give a notice. We'll have to serve a notice. After serving notice, we will give them exit opportunity. Now, what is this exit opportunity? Who will give this exit opportunity? Different story altogether, which we will be covering in our upcoming session. Friends, we have covered a lot of things today, lot of things. Let us quickly revise. At the start, I have started when the law came, the applicability. And, acha, sir, where we will get this notes? Don't worry. On your app itself, we have inducted a portion called as notes. Every class, let me write it here. Let me write it here. Vipu sir, class 1. For every class, you will get this notes. Okay, for every class, you will get this notes so that you can maintain it either in the PDF format or you can just maintain it if you're writing it, so you can do that. So you will get that in that notes column. So we just started with the applicability, where the act is applicable, the date where you got the assent, and when the section was applicable. Then the whole thing, executive, judiciary, NCLT, NCLAT, registrar, RD, and we have 2 special state who have 2 ROCs. Then we started with the definition of companies. Company is basically, company means company, incorporated company 2013 or any other previous law. Because of this master stroke line, friends, everything came into this. Then I discussed the features. There are different type of features. That is, company is an artificial person created by law, having perpetual succession, distinct from its member, can buy, can sell property, and ultimately we saw common seal. Whenever I say common seal is not compulsory. It is basically optional with effect from 25th of May 2015. Whenever I say common seal, if you are using it, then use common seal. If you don't have common seal, then your company secretary and 1 director will sign. If not, then it will be signed by 2 directors. Then we just discussed what is section number 3. Section number 3 discuss the formation of company. It will be done by 7 or more person, 2 or more person, or 1 or more person. Depends. In case of public, 7 or more. In case of private, 2, and in case of OPC, 1. How you will do it? How you will be subscribing into the memorandum of the company, and you will fulfill all the requirement of the registration. Yes. Then we discuss 2 types of company, private and public. Private company means company which is not, public company means company which is not private. Then what is private? Private means company which have 3 restrictions in its AOA. Which are these? Which are these 3? Number 1, maximum number of members 200. Shares are not freely transferable, and they cannot issue prospectus. That means they cannot invite public. Public for what? Public for subscription. Okay, then we saw the other information. In case of private company, minimum 2, maximum 200, minimum director 2, and at the end of the name, the word private will be there. In case of public is basically a company which is not a private company. Maximum number of member is unlimited, and you can issue prospectus, and you can also invite public for subscription. Friends, let's talk about the more information. It says minimum you will have 7 members and maximum is unlimited. Minimum director are 3, and ultimately the public company will ultimately include the word limited. Friends, one more important thing, that subsidiary means baby company, bachu company. If public company is a holding company, public company is a holding company, and it has some subsidiary, lawmaker says a very simple thing. Even if the holding company is public company and it's a subsidiary, it is a deemed public company, even it's a private company on its articles. I will give you an example where I will teach you holding subsidiary. I will teach you in the next class, don't worry. Then how to calculate this 200? Lawmaker says, while calculating this number 200, joint holder shall be considered as 1, employee shall not be considered, ex-employee shall be considered as, again they will not consider. Okay, guys, need to understand, I have just discussed the simple example, and tomorrow I will take some questions related to this. What should be your to-do list today? You have to solve some MCQ. So every day on my Instagram, I put MCQ so that you can have a good crux over the MCQ. Number one. Number two, every day after the completion of the lecture, it is your task either to write it. If you're not writing it with me, I hope everybody was writing it, but you have to study ASAP the notes and then the book which I have provided to you. This is the thing that you have to do ASAP after completion of not only my lecture, after completion of any lecture. Okay, so this is the scene, this is the thing what is there for the lecture 1. Let me tell you, this is lecture 1. Even today you will be having your next lecture. So 8 to 10:30 will be law. 11 o'clock, that means after half an hour till 2:15 you will have advanced accounting. It is sir will be taking it, that is 11 to 12 to 15. Yes, Dipesh sir will be taking it, and from 3 to 6:30 Agam sir will be taking your DT. Yes, so after 30 minutes we'll see you. We'll take a small mini break, and bye bye, take care, and see you in the next class. Please revise and come, revise and come, revise and come, or else you will feel it bit difficult after completion of couple of lectures. Bye bye, take care, good night, and please stay focused, and we will never give up. Bye bye, guys.